Hello, I'm Panos Kotzathanasis, and this is Asian Movie Pulse Interviews. Today I'm here with Mr. Ryota Nakano, whose films are screening at Japan Society as part of Family Portrait, Japanese Family in Flux program. So, first question, what is the fascination with the family drama genre? Why do you like this film so much?
家族愛を描くことに対して、どういうふうに興味を持たれたんですか？
もともとは全然映画少年でも僕は何でもなかったんですけど、表現することが好きだったんですね。それで表現の最高峰は何かって思った時に、映画じゃないかって思って、で、じゃあ何を描こうかって思った時に、僕自身が父を早くに亡くしてですね、6歳で亡くして、母子家庭で育って、で、いとこのお姉ちゃんが2人、両親がちょっと早くいなくなって、家族のように育ってて、だから家族っていう字が僕はいつも何なんだろうなっていう思いがすごくずっとそういう思いがあって育ってきて、表現するとなればやっぱりそこをどうしてもやりたくてっていう感じで家族を描き出したって感じですね。
Okay. To start with, I wasn't really the film boy from when I was kid, but I really loved since I was kid. I really loved expressing emotions and in order to express emotions, what tools would I use? And then I thought about filmmaking, but what do I like? What do I make about the film? And then I wondered and wondered, and then and I lost my father when I was 6 years old, and since then my cousins. There were like 2 cousins. They were like my sisters, and yes, and they were like my family. And just because I lost my parents in the early age, and my other family members kind of supported me throughout my childhood. And what is to have family, and what is family? Like, I always had these questions in my mind, and if I were to make films, then it would be this theme would be the one I would like to express. So that's kind of how I started with this whole theme of family.
So did his movies eventually give answers to these questions about family?
映画を作ることによってその家族とは何かっていう家族とは何だろうかっていうものの答えは得られたのでしょうか？
作れば作るほど分からなくなってきた。それは答えが家族とは何かって答えがないっていうことが分かって、それはそれぞれの家族が持っているものであって、じゃあ絶対家族はこうだっていう答えがないってことが逆に分かってしまった。
So the more I make, the more I was lost. I couldn't find the answers because I found that the fact that there is no answer to this question. The reason why is that each family has different definition of what the family is about. And the more I make, I found those different answers, and there's no one correct answer. So yes, that's the point I came up to. I have arrived.
Okay, so the film Her Love Boils Bathwater was very successful. I was wondering how his career changed after the film had all this success. Did it become easier or harder for him, let's say?
彼女のその熱でお湯をその映画を作った後に、どういうふうにその映画、ヒットされましたけれども、その後にどういうふうにキャリア の上で何か変わったことなどありますか？
そうです。ラブ・ボイルズ・バスウォーターって映画があるんですけど、それもう絶対に失敗したくなかったんです。デビュー作だったので。なので、もうとことん脚本を書き込んでやって、一応成功を収めたので、やっぱりその後はすごく映画のお話をたくさんいただいたし、でもその時のやっぱり脚本が一番僕、やっぱり映画で大切だなっていう思いは絶対に変えずにやってて、今までこう順調に残ってきてるというか、そんな感じですね。
So her Love Boils Bath, that was my first debut film that I have written and directed. And as I was making during this production, I was telling myself I cannot fail, and period. So I wrote scripts over and over and over, and dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and then rewrite. I went through all those process, and so that's the steps that I took during production, pre-production, and I personally think that the script is like the most important element of making films, and so that's something that I think it's very important. So I try to have or make a good, richer script in order to make film movies. So that's still keep going on, and that's something that I'm still trying to do. So as I'm doing it, people are kind of noticing my work, and then people offer me all kinds of interesting productions. So it's not like I did something special, but it's about me kind of thinking the script is very important part of the film. Yes.
And so from her Love Boils Bathwater until the Asadas, let's say, how does he feel that he has changed, improved as a director, scriptwriter, or about filmmaking in general?
その同作の、作品が作ることによってどういうふうにご自身が成長されたかとかありますでしょうか？
どういうふうに成長したか。そうですね。でもそれからデビュー作から3本撮ったんですけども、あんまりね、もちろん成長はしてると思うんですけど、毎回初心の感じで撮ってるというか、いうのがあって、だから毎回丁寧に撮ってるっていうのを繰り返してるかな。だから大きく変わってるっていう作り方には変わって、規模はどんどん大きくなっていってるんですけども、大きくなるけども、泥臭く、地味に作ってるというか、なんていうんですかね、丁寧に作るっていうのは変わんないですね。だから、僕としては、規模はどんどん大きくなってるけど、やっていることは一緒。
So I have made 3 films since my debut production, and I don't feel like I'm improving. I actually don't really feel that way. However, every time I film, I think it feels like it's my first time every time, and I try to put it as or make it as intricate as possible and be sensitive. And yes, the production, the size of production is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. and including staff members and casting members and the budget included. But it doesn't matter how big it is, how big it has become. My stance towards filmmaking is always stays the same. I try to, do the same thing every time, as if that was my first time filmmaking.
Okay. And A Long Goodbye deals a lot with dementia, and I was wondering why did he choose to shoot a film about this topic, this issue?
長い
お別れ、ロンググッバイ。
はい、の作品なんですけれども、それで認知症の、テーマが、取り上げられていますけれども、なぜ認知症というトピックというか、いうものを選ばれたのか。
あれは僕初めて原作ものがあって、その原作があったんですけど、僕の祖母も実は認知症で、家で最後まで亡くなるまで見てたっていうのもあったし、それでそこには興味があったっていうこと。で、もう一つその原作の認知症っていうのが小説なんですけども、読んでて笑えてしまうんですよね。認知症っていうものをちゃんと笑えるっていうことが僕にはとても新鮮で、そういえばうちのおばあちゃんもおかしかったなっていう思いもあって、なんか認知症が大変だって映画は今までたくさんあったけども、大変だけど、実は面白いって言い方変ですけど、笑えるし、愛おしいっていうのは、実は一番新しい認知症の描き方なんじゃないかなと思って、現代の認知症の映画を作ることができるんじゃないかなと思って選びました。
A Long Goodbye. So that's like my first film that I shot, not writing it. There is the novel version of original book. And my grandmother had diagnosed as dementia. And I have always had an interest in that kind of field. And I was reading the novel. It was written as quite funny, and I laughed reading the novel. And it was kind of eye-opening because the impression of dementia is like very hard work, taking care of them, this very heavy work and like 24/7. And the impression is that in the world. However, the feelings or impression that I got from the novel was quite refreshing. And I thought it was very interesting. And the way it was expressed was very loving and kind and fulfilled with love, family loves. And I thought this would be very interesting and new way of expressing dementia through a film. That was my idea.
And the film presents also the concept of home as a rather complicated concept, let's say, like the way people, how they perceive it in different ways according to their perspective. So I was wondering if you could elaborate a bit about this whole concept of home.
映画の中で、家っていう、帰る家っていうことに結構フォーカスが当てられてたと思うんですけれども、Sorry, would you repeat the question one more time?
For what is for him the concept of home, let's say, because in the movie it is presented in different ways according to the perspective of the characters.
それぞれのキャラクターにとっての帰る家っていう本がその物語の中でたくさん出てくるんですけれども、それはどこかご自身の中で何かアイデアがあってとのことだったんでしょうか。
そうでもまあ基本は、3世代を描いているんですけども、
はい。
基本はやっぱり人間って帰る家があるっていうことが僕はとても大切だと思っていて、だから認知症になったお父さんも帰りたい、帰りたいって言うんですよね。だから人間ってやっぱり帰る家があることっていうのがとてもこう生きる上には大切なんだなっていうふうに思ったし、だから娘とか孫とかっていうのは別に一緒じゃないけど、ちゃんと家っていうものを描くっていうのを大切にして描いたつもりです。人にとってやっぱり家っていうのは大切だと思う。
So, in this film, I expressed, portrayed 3 generations within a family. Grandfather, grandmother generation into parents generation into the daughter and son generation. And in my opinion, having a home to go back or come back to is quite important for any humankind, any human beings in this world. And that having home is very necessary in order to survive the hardship in life in general. And so that kind of gave me a great impression of drawing these like home, the home themed coming back to, and that's very necessary element in order to, yes, in life in general. Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, okay. And can you tell us a bit how was it working with Tsutomu Yamazaki?
Tsutomu Yamazaki さんとお仕事されることどういうふうにどうでしたか？
最初は初めて仕事したんですけども、噂では超怖いというふうに言われてたので、すごい最初はドキドキしていきましたけども、とても本当にこの本を気に入ってくれて、僕が書いた脚本を気に入ってくれたので、もう最初からすごい信頼をしてくださって、だからもう対等な立場でやらせてくれたんですね。超ベテランとまだ新人だったのか。だからその関係性はもうとても良かったし、財産になりました。僕もすっごい財産になりました。
So it was very first time to work with him, and from the little rumor that I got was he's very scary, like very like a pressure, and
昔
then
ある監督はいじめられたっていう噂も聞いて。
so and then and also I heard this rumor that the director who worked with him before saying that he was quite mean and quite strict. And so I was extremely nervous to start working with him. However, he loved my script so much that's why he accepted this offer. And I was very happy about it. And from the day one, I could tell that he gave me 100 trust. And then we could start working like without any a confrontation or any sort of like nerves or like anything like that. It was very smooth and relaxed, and he gave me trust, and then I gave him trust, so like vice versa. And this relationship that we have built was like a treasure of my life now.
And can he maybe share maybe a memory or experience with the late Yuko Takeuchi?
竹内優子さんのなんか思い出、なんかエピソードか何かシェアしていただくことは可能ですか？
そうですね。とてもね、多分、真面目な人。 ても真面目な人。でもちょっと考えすぎるとこがあるぐらい真面目な人だったかなっていう印象があるし、だから一生懸命なんですよね。一生懸命とてもやってくださって。うん、まあ、だから一緒に仕事できてよかったなとは思ってますね。
So, she's extremely honest person and very, very hardworking. And sometimes it's to me seemed like she seemed like thinking too much. But that's how she was. That's how she works in terms of as an actress, and she gives her 100% and more than that every time she was on set, and it was absolutely privileged to work with her.
Okay. And regarding the Asadas, the film is based on the photography books of Masashi Asada. So I was wondering if he could tell us a bit about the whole procedure from photography books to a movie.
浅田家なんですけれども、写真集からその映画にっていうことだったんですけれども、なぜそういうふうな過程になったのでしょうかという。
まあ、まず、写真集を、最初は僕ではなくて、プロデューサーが映画にしたいって言ってきたんですけども、もう僕にその写真集をまず見せて、これを映画にしたいって言われたときに、もう、まあ、見たことありますね。
あ、写真集ないんです。
まあ、なんて言ったらいいか。もうこの写真を撮った家族には、絶対にドラマがあるっていうのが、僕どういうドラマがあるか全然知らないけど、見ただけで、この写真集を撮る段階で絶対にドラマがあるなっていうのが分かるんですよ。でこれは面白いなと思って取材を始めてたら、本当に面白い家族で、そのまま映画になっていったって形ですね。だから本当に写真集を見ただけでもう、どうやって撮ったか知らないけど、絶対に面白いっていうのが分かってしまった。これは映画になるなって分かってしまった。
So the photo book, so actually, one of the producer presented the photo book to me and telling me, we want to make a film about this photo book. And he was like, okay. And then he looked at the, I look at the photo book. And at the moment I look at the photo book, I could immediately tell that, oh, this is going to be a great film, because it was obvious that the family who takes pictures like this, there's gotta be some sort of good drama through their lives. So, and then we went to get interviewed to this family, and yes, they were actually really, really interesting and funny family. So that's how we kind of decided to make this film about photo book.
And how is Masashi Asada as a person? I guess you had met him at some point.
浅田正史さんに直にお会いしてどういう印象を持たれましたか？
最初はもうファーストイン、両手入れ墨だらけなんですよ。だから最初はね、どうしてもうわってなるんですよね。でも喋ったら本当に腰の低い優しい方で面白いんですよね。って感じでしたね。はい。
So my first impression was quite interesting, because when I saw him first and I looked at his arms covered with tattoos, and it was quite shocking and intimidating. So I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And then, but then when I actually talked to him and had a conversation, and he was very nice and kind and warm-hearted man, and yes, that was my kind of impression about him.
でもあれ、彼のね、武器ですよ。最初、みんなね、ちょっとビビるんです。ビビるけど、実はめちゃめちゃ優しいってね、そのギャップでみんなやられるんですね。
So, the one of the huge charm point about him was that the first contact he's very intimidating, but actually when you talk and when you know him in person, he's very kind. So there's a huge gap. So this gap make his personality is very interesting and funny and human-like impression.
But in the movie, particularly in the first part, let's say, he is presented as one person who uses apologizing as a weapon, and also like he exploits somewhat the people around him. I was wondering if this is the truth, how he was at least when he was younger, let's say.
He was younger, Mr. Asada?
Yes, Mr. Asada.
なんか、浅田さんが謝るっていうことを武器に、なんか人生生きてきたみたいな話の印象を受けたんですけれども、それはそこを描こうとなされたのはどういう、なんか実際そういうふうなエピソードがたくさんあられてっていうことだったんでしょうか。
謝るというか、まあ、人に甘えて生きてきた。甘えて、人に頼って上手に生きてきて、なんか人たらしって日本では人たらしっていうんですけど、そういうふうに彼はうまいこと生きてきたっていうのは、描こうと思って描きましたね。
So, you said one of his weapon is like apologizing and stuff, but actually, to me, it is not really apologizing, but he's very good at getting indulged by people. He's very good at asking people for a favor, and then people just like happen to help him without like second thought or like, oh, I don't want to do it or anything like that. I think that's his forte or weapon, if I use your terminology. But yes, I wanted to portray his forte through this movie.
And a more general question, what is his opinion about the Japanese movie industry at the moment?
Sorry, would you repeat that one more time, sir?
What is his opinion about the Japanese movie industry at the moment?
In Japan.
Yes.
今の日本の映画界について何か感じることは
ちょっと内向きなんですね。内向きというか、どうしても一部の人は頑張って海外へ向けて、世界に向けて作ってるけども、もう大手、まあ東宝とか、まあ大手がこぞってやっぱり、日本だけで公開して回収できればいいよ。ドメスティックな考えっていうのがもうどうしてもあって、そこがやっぱりこのままやっていくと、どんどんこう、世界の置いてけぼりになっちゃうんじゃないかなっていう心配は本当にします。もちろん一部はちゃんと外に向かって頑張って作ってるんですけど、もっと国を挙げて大手もちゃんと向けてやっていかないとまずいなっていう思いはとてもあります。
Okay, so in my opinion, a lot of people are quite narrow-minded in terms of audience focus. Quite one group of people, like very small group of people, is yes, they are in fact making films, thinking about bringing that to outside of Japan, like internationally. They want to do the filmmaking internationally. Yes. However, the big filmmakers in Japan, like mainstream filmmakers in Japan, are kind of trying to make films that it completes within Japan, whether that's budget or the ticket sales and everything included. And yes, I am worried about if we keep doing producing films like this, it's going to be, the world will be leaving us behind, and it's kind of scary. So what we should do as a whole, we should try to open up our mind internationally and try to make films that comes across different countries outside of Japan. And that's something that I kind of having worried and like warned them as much as I can. But yes, that's pretty much how I think at the moment in Japanese about Japanese film industries.
And last question, if he could tell us a bit about his future projects, what is he working on next?
何か今後の作ってる作品などありましたら。
今、まあ、3本ぐらい準備はしているので、まあ、どれも、まあ、家族ものかな、家族の話なんですけど、でもさっきも言ったように、家族ものだけど、やっぱり全部違うんですよ。家族に答えはないので、全部違うように楽しんで準備してます。
So I have 3 films in a process at the moment, and they are all themed family. It's about family. But yes, there's no right answer. So I'm trying to keep films about families. And yes, it is about the 3 films all about families, but each film has different theme or a completely different impression of about families. So it's going to be quite exciting. So if you could look forward to see the movie in the future, it's going to be very exciting. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you very much.
以上です。
ありがとうございます。
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye.